Good evening, folks. It is almost time for some WIAA hockey action here at the Oregon Ice Arena, home of the Oregon Panthers. And we are here for an OCA Media production of Panther Sports. My name is Matt Kingsley, and I'll be bringing you tonight's exciting action right here on OCA Media. And I'm joined by Sanaya Jackson, one of the team managers who's helping out here tonight. So thank you very much, Sanaya.
Yes, of course. Love to be here.
And this exclusive OCA Media broadcast of Panther Hockey is brought to you in partnership with the Village of Oregon, a great place to live, work, and play. The Oregon School District, actively building competency, character, culture, and community. The Oregon Athletic Booster Club, doing great things for all Panther sports. Your membership dues directly support our student athletes. Consider becoming a booster today. One Community Bank, Feel Good Banking. The Oregon Area Community Coalition, helping youth thrive. Visit us at OregonAreaCares.org. Shackelford Heating and Cooling, Panther Exteriors, Stoughton Health, and Wisco Industries, your trusted neighbors for generations. And remember, we are a nonprofit organization with a lot of student employees, and if you'd like to continue having these wonderful broadcasts, we encourage you to support Panther Sports and OCA Media. You can contact Paul at ocamedia.com for more information. All right, the players have taken the ice, and we're about to introduce the starting lineups, starting with the visiting Baraboo/Portage Thunderbirds, which is the Baraboo nickname, so I guess the Portage Warriors get discounted there. The Thunderbirds are coached by Tony Blusky, and they're off to an 0-3 start. They've scored a goal in each game. They've outshot their opponents in 2 of their 3 games. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Oregon is off to a 1-1 start with an overtime 4-3 loss to West Salem last week, and earlier this week they notched their first win. That was last Friday night. They notched their first win, hosting the Madison West Regents. All right, the Thunderbirds are about to come forward, starting with the goalie, senior Josiah Fanning, number 33. Tonight's defensemen are number 7, Wade Zamanovic, a senior, and also another senior, number 13, Colin Matson. The forwards are sophomore Wyatt Arnold, wearing number 11. And then a junior, Thomas Sarno, number 12. And senior, number 17, Jordy Beal. The Thunderbirds tonight are wearing dark blue with gold trim. And the Oregon Panthers are breaking out the whites for the first time this year. They've worn their home grays with orange trim twice, but now going to see what they can do in the whites. And in goal, senior Nicholas Couillard, number 29, looking to continue his winning streak. At defense, we have sophomore Knut Lee, number 2, and senior number 20, George Karasek. The starting forwards for Oregon tonight are number 9, Ethan Ditch, a junior, and he's joined by junior number 18, Drew Yachman, and number 16, senior Owen Tauschik. And the Panthers are coached by Cole Hefty in his first year as the head coach after many years as an assistant on the bench. Assistant coaches include Ethan Carls, Austin Lynch, Dylan Clark, Paul Johnston, and Henry Roscos. Now we're going to pause for the national anthem. All right, the lights are on and we are moments away from action. As mentioned, Oregon off to a 1-1 start, while Baraboo / Portage looking for their first win of the year. In their first game, it was a penalty-filled game. They lost 1-2 to Stevens Point Pacelli. It was, let me check my pronunciation sheet here, Nizer. Nizer had the goal for him that game. No, I'm sorry, that was Beal scored the goal, Nizer and Bjorklund. Then they battled upon and fell 1-5. Their goal that game was Sarnau from Matson. And most recently, they fell 1-6 to South Central, the South Central Navigators. Bjorklund scored the goal from Wagner. In 2 of the 3 games, as I mentioned, they were able to outshoot their opponents. So they've been getting a lot of shots off. By game, 39 shots, 20, and then 42. But most recently against South Central, 42 shots. They were only able to get 1 past Wisconsin Stars legend Mason Beery. I've seen that guy in net in many states, and he's a good one. And the puck has dropped. Baraboo is going to fire it into the zone off the board, so it won't go all the way down for an icing. Knut Lee is going to try and work it over to his defensive teammate Karasek. And Karasek battling for that puck with Beal. Now it's down into the corner, and we have a hand up already by the official. It looks like Oregon is going to get a high stick penalty, or maybe it was just played with a high stick. We shall see.
A stick penalty, I think, from Ethan Dish, number 9.
All right, good call. Ethan heads over to the box. It took all of 27 seconds to have our first power play of the night. And Nicholas Couillard's going to be tested here early. He makes his first save, and Oregon fires it all the way down the ice. Dawson Peterson giving chase on the penalty kill. Couldn't. James Shervin sneaking in. See, that's the downside of looking down at a number. Then I miss some good stuff like that. So feel free to call it how you see it there, Sanaya.
Yeah, James did put it in there. He just went right up, got it right in the net, perfectly in the left corner.
Short-handed goal. I believe in previous broadcasts I may have referred to James as the king of the short-handed goal.
Yeah.
He's had a few of those in his career.
Yeah, he does know how to work on those short hands, get a power play goal when it's needed.
And Baraboo looking to get back. This is a great start for Oregon to get that shorty. We'll see if they announce an assist to Dawson. They do. Dawson Peterson was the first guy down the ice. He got his stick on there, but he couldn't get the shot off as I believe it was Meeker was right on him. But then James snuck in to put it away. And there's 1:05 left on the power play, and Nizer goes down. Loses control of the puck. Trey Zerwick behind the net, surveys, looking for an outlet, and instead he just decides to fire it all the way down. That's a shot on goal. And an easy save for Fanning. And Yachman on the penalty kill. Forces the turnover. Desmond Kingsley has a stick on it momentarily, but it's kicked out of the zone. Sarnau showing off his soccer skills. No idea if he does that sport as well. We're going to have an offside call. Ones was in the zone early there. Wyatt Arnold is starting forward. 27 seconds left on the penalty to Dish. Oregon penalty kills so far very successful, and the short-handed goal combination of Shervin and Peterson is back on the ice, along with Zerwick and Jack Klun. Fired back down, handled by Couillard. He hands off to Zerwick, the tall junior defenseman. It's not the first time this year we've seen Trey take the puck and go coast to coast. Penalty's over. And Keaton DiMartino is going to come onto the ice as Dish heads over to the bench. Shot from distance goes wide. Shervin with a hit from behind. Tries to knock his man off the puck, but recovered and save made by Couillard. Sarnow took the hit from James, took the puck and got a nice quick shot off. And here comes James Shervin with the puck. He's into the zone. Scored the first goal of the season for Oregon on a sweet backhand. He was coming at a similar angle, but wasn't able to get the shot off there. So now he drops it off to Klun. Jack Klun's been shot happy all season.
Especially from the blue line. He's really been putting it in there.
And if Oregon wants success, I think they're going to need to do it in a team fashion, and they've definitely done that so far. We've already seen some aggressive offensive play by a defenseman, and we've seen that all year from Karasek, Klun, and Zerwick. Now we got to get son of Hodag legend Jens Lee out there. Canute Lee still looking for his first point as a high schooler, I believe.
Yes, he is.
As is Trey Zerwick. Unless he has one already this year, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think he does, but it looks like the net is off. James is currently sitting on the net, actually.
Well, wherever is comfortable. So, 3 minutes and 59 seconds into this one, Oregon has a 1-0 lead on the shorthanded goal. We're here at the lovely Oregon Ice Arena, and it doesn't seem to be as cold as it has been for the first couple games, is it? Okay.
No, I don't think so. It's been really cold here, though. Not used to seeing my breath in the rink, but I can all season so far.
After the first game, I think I learned my lesson. Well, after coming to some Bantam games to watch, you know, my second favorite Bantam, CJ, out there.
Yeah, of course.
And my favorite Bantam, Cam.
Yes.
I realized how cold it was, so I went out and I bought these gloves, which I wear all the time.
Yeah.
Light enough and thin enough to still write with and take some notes.
Do your job.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I have these really comfy mittens I got actually for Christmas a couple years back, and I love wearing those. It's really hard to, you know, screw the water bottles with mittens on, so I just decided to stop bringing them because they'd sit with no use.
Yeah, get you some thin gloves like these. Go with the isotoners. That's what Dan Marino used to sell back in the day. Do you know who Dan Marino is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Looks like James has the puck again.
And that's a good place for it to be if you're Oregon. You definitely want the puck on James's stick. The turnaround was a little hot for Kingsley to handle. Dawson Peterson rips a great shot. Save made by Fanning. And the puck's going to come all the way back. Zerwick out to Klun. Klun knocked off the puck by, is that ones down there again?
9.
Number 9. Dane Wagner. All right, Kingsley battling with Meeker. Oregon's going to control. Shervin over to Zerwick. His shot's going to come back out to Kingsley, who brings it into the zone. Looking for a centering pass. Bounces off the goalie. Shot off the side of the net. They're going to work it back. That's where you want it, is Dawson Peterson behind the net. He's been very effective. He has 2 assists from behind the net, both scored by Owen Tauschik so far this year, but Dawson on a little bit different line right now as the team shuffles and looks to find some good combinations that work. Shervin's going to take this face off against number 14, Nathan Nizer. Senior versus a junior, and the senior Nizer is going to win that face off. His teammate bounces it off the boards, and they're going to get it out of the zone. But James Shervin finds that loose puck, tries to get it over to Dawson. Jack Klun's going to keep it steps into the zone to take possession momentarily. Knocked out by Baraboo as we're about 6 minutes into this game. Klun pulled down. I saw that 5 there. Which I do need to make some corrections, folks. In the first game, I mistakenly attributed a big hit I said it was Jack Klun that came flying in there with a wrestling move to put a hit on West Salem's Rosin, who scored the game-winning goal. Or not the game-winning goal, but he definitely scored some in that first game. But it was actually Desmond Kingsley that came in and delivered that big hit. And I think I also mistakenly attributed a shot off the pipe to Ethan Dish in that first game when Dish had the first one that bounced off the pipe and Yachman had the second one. And here we go, 10.5 remaining in the period. Owen Tauschik battling for that puck behind the net, and Dawson Peterson's going to come up with it. Looks to make a, I'm sorry, that's Drew Yachman. He gets it over to Dish. Handles the puck off the skate of the referee. George Karasek's shot for the point is saved. And we're going to have a penalty on Baraboo as somebody decided to take Tauschik down. Tauschik's going to head on over, look to get that puck. Now they call for Couillard to come and exit his crease, but wasn't able to get that extra man on. Of course, if there's a delayed penalty call, the whistle's supposed to stop as soon as the offending team touches the puck. So that's a great time for your goalie to race over to the bench and for the team to get an extra attacker on the ice. So we're going to have a tripping call against Jordy Beal, senior forward. He spent some time in the penalty box already this year. And Oregon is on the power play. Jack Clunn on the point, gets a nice shot that finds its way through off the goalie's chest and save made. Oregon maintains control. Dawson Peterson looking for a teammate. He's going to skate it all around the ice before he drops it off to Clunn. Back to Peterson. He's skating behind the net. He's got some bodies up in front. Tauschik was trying to set up there. Tauschik tries the backhand wraparound. Defense is there to poke it away behind the net. Dish gets off a monster wrister there, but it goes wide. Back out to Clunn. Shoots it into the body of 14, Nizer. Good looking power play so far for Oregon with James Shervin back on the blue line. Dawson didn't quite get all on that shot. And Baraboo's going to be able to get it out of the zone halfway through the power play. Unable to maintain possession, however, and Oregon's going to take control. James Shervin with the puck on his stick. Bounces it off the boards to Yachman. He touches it up. He skates right around a guy. Now Yachman with a chance. What's he going to do? Centering pass in front of the net. The defense gets there first. Shervin was in the area code, but good job by Baraboo's assistant captain. Good defensive awareness by Sarnow. All right, Kingsley with the puck into the zone. He's looking for a teammate. He slows it down. Now he gets it over to Karasek. Gets it down low to Preston Crom, and that puck goes into the stands for a souvenir for somebody.
Looks like we've got 17 seconds left on the power play.
And 8:14 left in the first period. I'd say Oregon's been in control of this one, but just the one goal on the scoreboard. And Baraboo is able to clear the puck all the way down. You can count that as a save for Couillard. That was on target. He sticks it over to the side. Now Oregon looks to come on the attack again. Preston Crom, the young guy, gets it out to Kingsley. Looking at the ice, he gets a shot off, save made. Now as Kingsley dropped it off for Yachman. Crom giving pursuit, trying to keep it in that zone. Good job by Preston Crom, but Baraboo is able to muscle it out. Beal did a good job getting that puck out, but as he brought it into the zone, he had a teammate ahead of him. Wyatt Arnold was in the offside position again. Arnold's pretty eager tonight. I think that's the second time that number 11 has been in the zone ahead of the puck. You're not allowed to do that. The puck's got to be in there before any attacking skater. Otherwise, it's an offside violation and a face-off just outside the zone. Peterson whacks at it. It's going to go all the way down. No icing as went off the stick of a Baraboo player. James Shervin intercepts a pass. But Nizer comes over and takes it away. Now Oregon gets it back behind the net. Centering pass, nobody home. Shot from the point is gobbled up by a body of the defending Bjorklund. Now, so these guys, Baraboo has a Brody Bjorklund. Now, who am I thinking of on Verona?
That's actually a great question. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's Bjorklund, but they have a big guy with a real similar name. All right. Well, back to the action. 7 minutes. in the first period. Canute Lee over to Karasek. He gets it off to Dawson before it's intercepted. There's Dane Wagner flying in there at George trying to get the steal, and now George with the puck. He gets knocked down by big 26, Bobby Meeker, a senior. Not easy to put George down on his knees there.
No, it isn't.
Shot right into the glove. He decides to drop it for his teammate. And we're going to have a penalty on Oregon, it looks like. They're going to get Jack Klund maybe for a holding or an interference. Kind of tackled the guy at the blue line. And his interference is going to be the call against Klund. So by my count, that should be the third penalty of the game. 2 against Oregon and 1 against Beal for Baraboo. And the last time Oregon was shorthanded, they were able to score a goal. Good penalty killing work by Yachman to get his stick on the puck. And Yachman gets a little shove and goes to the ice away from the play. Just some friendly pushing and shoving. Haven't seen any big hits, haven't seen any cheap stuff yet. Couillard with a save. Good job by the power play to get the puck working. They moved the puck from Couillard's right to his left and snuck a shot in there on his glove side, but Cooley able to make the save. And covers up the second attempt.
And
Oregon
Cooley with the glove save. It was a nice shot right off the face-off, but luckily Cooley was ready.
It's good to have a trusted senior goalkeeper back there. Couillard definitely fits that bill. 7-0 in his starts last year, 1-1 so far this year. I think just about any goalie would love to have an 8-1 start to their career. Yes. Oh, intercepted right in front of Couillard, but he makes that point-blank save. The defenseman, maybe he didn't see Nizer sneaking in there. Was that Zerwick put it right on him?
Yeah, I think so.
Put it right on his stick, and that's dangerous territory. Thankfully for Oregon, Couillard was in good defensive position and was ready for it. All right, Peterson on that face-off over to Lee, who whips it around the boards, and it's going to go out of the zone, out to center ice, flip back in, but Baraboo had guys in the zone in an offside position, so they have to clear, giving Trey Zerwick all the time he wants to whip the puck all the way down there. First man to it is, I don't see a 3 on the roster. So I don't know who the first person to it was, but then Desmond Kingsley came and gave a little pressure. Now Trey Zerwick in the corner trying to get that puck away from Baraboo.
Looks like it hit the ref's foot. Ref is in the way a little bit.
That happens. It does amaze me, some of these, the agility that some of these officials show to jump over the puck or jump up into a bench and get out of the way.
I think it's always a game favorite, though, when there's a little mistake and the ref falls. I think adds a little bit of fun to the game.
Yeah, sometimes that gets a reaction out of the crowd, too.
It does.
And the penalty's over, and Oregon's starting to pepper Fanning a little bit. Dish and Yachman both getting some shots on net. Now Owen Tauschik with the puck. If you're just tuning in, the Oregon Panthers are in their home white uniforms with the orange trim, and they're going from your left to your right. And the visiting Baraboo/Portage Thunderbirds are in the dark blue with the gold trim. I wonder if any, hockey players of Baraboo's past are out there. Maybe like, Thunderbird legend Alex Rittman. I wonder if he's out there listening tonight, watching his old squad. Ooh, a big hit by Dish. in the battle of the number 9s. Got his arm up there a little bit onto Dane Wagner. And we're going to have a penalty. Interference. And who's the lucky person going to the box? It looks like it's going to be Wyatt Jost. I thought it was Jost. Maybe he was related to Colin, but some of the scratches for Baraboo were able to help with some pronunciations tonight. Always appreciated. So Wyatt Jost, the senior defenseman, 2 minutes for interference. And Oregon back on the power play. 5-on-4 advantage. Jack Klun keeps it in the zone, barely by a half an inch. Dawson Peterson working the puck behind the net. Back out to Klun. He rips a shot, saved by the blocker. And Fanning Skies does his Kobe Bryant impersonation to jump up there and bat the thing away. I guess it was more of a Dikembe Mutombo impersonation. Ooh, intercepted by Nizer of Baraboo, but he just tries to dump the puck into the zone. Oregon's offside at the blue line. 1:21 left in the man advantage. We're here in the first period, 2:45 left in the period for your OCA Media production of Oregon Panther hockey. OCA Media is your home for Panther sports. Except for I guess that amazing basketball game didn't make it on there the other night. Were you at that one?
No, I wasn't, but I did end up seeing it a lot on my social media. I feel like that happened last year too with the buzzer beater. Same guy too.
Well, there's a reason that all kinds of big-time colleges are looking at Vaughn Carvalho.
Yes.
Being recruited by Wisconsin, Marquette, Syracuse, I don't know who all else. Ethan Dish had a chance, snuck in there, and his shot goes wide. We're getting some good pressure on Fanning. Tauschik in front of the net, but it doesn't matter. Dawson Peterson with a perfect pass to James Shervin, who hammers it home. Not much that Fanning could do about that one.
Not at all. That's James's second goal of the night. I think James is just ready to come back. I know the last game he was really trying to put it in the net, and it just wasn't really happening for him, so I'm excited to see tonight what he's really going to do.
Of course, James Shervin is Oregon's leading returning scorer. Had 39 points last year, 14 goals and 25 assists. So Oregon with a 2-0 lead, just over 2 minutes left in the first period, and they're looking for more. Drew Yachman getting the puck in front of the net. He gets a shot, glove save made. Yachman's gonna get it back to Karasek, whose shot is blocked right off the knee of Nizer.
Looks like we got just under 2 minutes left in the period.
And Oregon able to get it out of the zone after a little bit of pressure from Baraboo. Preston Crom sends it down. So Sanai, you've touched on social media a little bit. Is that one of the things that you do as a manager for this team?
Yes, I do. Me and Ava run the TikTok account, and then for all the game day posts you see on Instagram, we usually make those too and send it to the guys to put out there so that they can let the studie know what's going on at the home bar.
And if people want to find some Oregon Panther hockey on social media, what are... Oh, James with another one. The natural hat trick. Yeah. Peterson with another assist as well. So if you're scoring at home, that is the third goal of the period for James Shervin, the third assist of the period for Dawson Peterson. These guys are putting on a show. In the first couple games, it's been Dawson really working well with Owen Tauschik.
Yes.
And tonight, it's Dawson and James are the 1-2 punch. So we must have the camera mic is up tonight. I can actually hear the announcer in my headset. So I don't think I had time to hear. So if people want to follow Panther hockey on TikTok or on Instagram, what were the
I believe the TikTok @ is OHS Hockey. Okay. And I believe that the Instagram is also the same thing. I think we tried to keep them pretty similar.
Okay, so @ OHS Hockey. And I saw some of the pictures. There were some great pictures on there tonight. I think I was a big fan of the Keaton DiMartino doing some maybe Halloween shopping there, trying on a crazy cowboy outfit.
Yeah, it's always fun finding some interesting, fun pictures to put on the TikTok. They always think it's funny until they come to the rink and they tell me that they're very embarrassed about what I just put on TikTok. But it's always fun. The people love it. The parents love it. Oh, it looks like they're doing a double penalty right now.
Yeah, we've got some roughings.
Some roughings going down.
So we're going to do some matching minors for roughing, and we're going to play 5-on-5 hockey. Jack Klund going to the box.
It looks like he doesn't know what he did. It looked like there was a big penalty right by the red line. I wasn't really sure what happened there, but
I thought Dawson Peterson started to go to the box.
Yeah,
and then came back.
Sure.
The officials are having a discussion, trying to figure it out. And they might come on over to the bench and have a further discussion. No, it sounds like it's decided.
It does. So it looks like Jack is still slightly confused about why he's in the box. But I guess it's going to be a double on roughing, so we're going to play some 5-on-5 matching penalties here.
Cooley with a nice save, and the puck bounces away from him. Oregon uses that opportunity to go on another rush here.
Looks
Tauschik, Yachman. Oh, go ahead.
Looks like we have about 10 seconds left in the period here.
Yeah. Trey Zerwick will get a shot off. No, he's going to pass it. And Oregon's not going to be able to get a shot off in the last 10 seconds, but that's all right. You have a 3-goal lead, and, you know, Cooley's been up to the task. He's faced a fair number of shots, but other than that one interception right in front of him, nothing that seemed too dangerous. So maybe this trend is continuing with the Baraboo Portage Thunderbirds, where they're getting a lot of shots, but not getting the goals to show for it.
Yeah, it's very interesting that this team does have a lot of shots, but I'm also excited to see how our defense plays against this team who's getting as many shots as they are per game.
Yeah. So senior Josiah Fanning has seen most of those shots, but freshman backup goalie Abel Littlegeorge, he did get in for several minutes of the third game against South Central, and he was able to make one save. So it's good to get your freshman a taste, you know.
Yeah.
That's I've been there, or even with my kid who was a sophomore last year. He got all kinds of playing time in a 5-0 game, but not much in the 1-1 games. So
yeah.
Coach Hefty this year, though, he's been a little more liberal, I think, with his use of his bench. And some of these guys, they haven't got a lot of minutes, but you still see, you know, we've seen Preston Crom and Keaton DiMartino out there already, a couple of third-line guys, and he's played 6 defensemen. Ashton Wolf and Tim Grice have been getting a lot of shifts at defense so far this year. And some of the other young guys have got a taste. So, you know, this might be a game. You'd like to think Oregon, with the fast start that they had, will be able to maybe roll 3 lines the rest of the game and maybe even get to a point where they're, you know, rolling 4 and getting some of these guys, getting the Barrett Andersons and Peyton Kyprioses of the world in here and getting them some action.
Yeah. It's always fun seeing the new guys hit the ice. It's kind of a little shocker. I know I'm sitting up here sometimes watching the game, and all of a sudden I'll see, you know, Barrett or Peyton hit the ice, and I'm like, wow, it's something new. It's something for them to work for.
Yeah, it's great to get that taste, and I think we've seen some good production out of those guys for the shifts that they have gotten so far this year. Right, I didn't have the save total. I'm not sure if we announced that yet, but for the period. But otherwise, if you're just tuning in, we're at the first intermission. At the end of the first period, the Oregon Panthers have a 3-0 lead over the Baraboo Thunderbirds, the Baraboo Portage Thunderbirds, I should say. Yeah. I don't believe that Portage has an ice rink, though, unless the town has changed since I've been there. They do have a curling club. Oh. Curling was pretty big there. I think even an Olympian or two may have thrown stones at that rink before. Yeah. But there is a rink in Baraboo. I know how to get there, but I'd have a tough time explaining how to get there to somebody. but I'd never been.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I like the Baraboo rink. You been to that one?
Yeah, I think I have for a few Pee-wee, a couple of bantam games here and there.
Okay.
I feel like I've been to a lot of rinks around Wisconsin.
Okay. So have you ever played hockey, Sanaya?
No, I have not ever played hockey. I wish I would have, though.
So I think I've heard that your mom used to play.
Yes, she did. She did used to play hockey. She used to play for Stoughton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she cut her year short of hockey after her bantam year because at the time women's hockey was not a big thing and she didn't really see anything coming out of it. She got invited to play for the new Wisconsin team when she was younger.
Okay.
The new team Wisconsin for girls. But, you know, she was a teenage girl and she didn't really see herself playing after that, so.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see, you know, her young one playing, though. I think she really likes it. She loves being a hockey mom.
Okay. And so I've seen your brother play many times over the years, Pee-wees and Bantams both.
Yes.
The Bantam now. He had one of my favorite goals of the year. It was one, so I was right down there in the corner to our left, and he was kind of over near the red line. He just took that sideways shot, and he bounced it in off the goalie's skate.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how it's done, CJ.
Yes, he does like shooting. I'm really interested to see if he continues to play, you know, his center wing role, or if he'll move into defense as he gets older. I think he's got one heck of a shot on him, and I think he could really throw him in from the blue, so I'm excited to see what he decides to go for more when he gets to high school.
Yeah. I think I've seen him play mostly forward. Is that okay? You know, and some kids coming through their youth programs mix it up and play both forward and defense. Some kids, you know, we certainly have guys here in Oregon. Like I think George Karasak's been playing defense as long as I can remember, and Owen Tauschik's been playing forward as long as I can remember. But there's always, to a degree, the needs of the team.
Yeah.
You know, I know my kid's mixed it up. He's done both, kind of whatever the team needs at that time. And we see that here with some of the guys on the current roster as well. You know, maybe some guys that played defense last year and made the decision, hey, I want to play forward and put me out there. I don't know. Forward's where the goals are at. I think everybody wants to score goals.
A couple times in their, you know, career playing hockey, whether that be younger years or high school years. Yeah. Well, with the last 6 minutes and 30 seconds, I am going to go fill some water and get on a quick break before I come back to this OCA Media production.
Okay. And I'll stay here. I'm going to read some, provide the folks at home with some information about OCA Media. Because OCA Media covers local events and creates original programming for everybody here in Oregon and beyond. Right, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just look up OCA Media, do a search, hit subscribe, and OCA Media will let you know when they're streaming live Panther sporting events or other community-related events. Okay, and OCA Media reaches thousands of viewers with programs just like this one. Join the 3,700 YouTube subscribers, and you'll never miss another Panther sports stream again. And Panther Sports has been very exciting. We talked about the basketball game earlier this week where Vaughn Carvalho hit the buzzer beater shot, right? You know, three-pointer for the win against Stoughton. That was very exciting. And I was busy selling hot dogs during that game, but I was able to watch that last play. And thankfully, there was a 30-second delay between where I was in the snack shack and the actual game on the court. I heard the roar from the crowd, and I knew it was time to start watching. And award-winning productions, like our sports coverage and our community coverage, are made possible with support from local business sponsors and by viewers like you. OCA Media relies on your support to bring you events just like this. Please consider joining our family of sponsors. Visit ocamedia.com for more information. And it's important to note that Oregon high school students, the students watch the events, but the students also help participate behind the scenes. Right now, this game you're watching, so you've heard Sanaya, she's a junior at Oregon High School, and she's helping, in addition to her managerial duties, taking the mic tonight. She wanted to give it a shot. All right, and you've also heard a couple of our hockey players, Carson and Hunter, this year. And right now we've got Ben on the camera. Thank you for your great work on the camera, Ben. Right now, not much to film. We're just, you know, going to show that clock for you so you know how much time is left. We'll drop the puck on the second period in less than 4 minutes. So let's talk about what's going on in the Badger Conference right now. So this matchup, a couple of Badger Conference rivals, right? The teams that are off to a hot start include Wanakee at 2-1, Reedsburg Dells / Mauston at 2-1, and also Monona Grove is at 2-1. Wanakee has wins over Milton and Fond du Lac with a loss to the University School. Reedsburg Dells, they got their 2 wins against Wisconsin Rapids and Eau Claire North, but fell 0-3 against Somerset. Somerset will be in here on Friday night, and it's also youth night. We'll talk more about youth night in a bit. Talk about Monona Grove, 2-1 their start. They had a 0-8 loss to Muskego, and Oregon's going to play Muskego December 26th, the day after Christmas, as part of the tournament out there at the Nagawaki Rankindella Field. That's the home ice for both the KMMO program, the Kettle Moraine Mukwonago Economowalk program, and I think it's also Waukesha's home rink. And so Oregon's going to face that Muskego team that really put a hurting on MG, so we'll see how that goes. But Monona Grove was able to come back and win their next 2 against Black River Falls and Toma / Sparta. Also off to a good start is McFarland. And Oregon will be at McFarland on Saturday night. McFarland is 1-0 so far. They won 3-2 over Homestead, and they're playing Stoughton right now as we speak. So that'll be Saturday night in McFarland. Let's see, so both the South Central Navigators and these Oregon Panthers are 1-1 so far this year. Turn that music down a little bit. Also in the Badger Conference, Monroe is off to a 1-2 start. Milton is off to a 1-3 start. Beaver Dam, 0-1. Stoughton and Madison Edgewood are both off to 0-2 starts. And this Baraboo Portage team, along with Sauk, are off to 0-3 starts in this young hockey season. I wouldn't be too concerned about Edgewood's 0-2 start. Those games were against Hudson and Chippewa Falls. So I'm sure that by the end of the year, Edgewood will be one of the better teams in Dane County and be looking to make it back to the state tournament. Where, what did Edgewood do at state last year? I think they fell to Notre Dame, eventual state champion Notre Dame in the semis. So that's your update on the Badger Conference. We have less than a minute to go for the start of the second period. Both teams are making their way back to their benches. Baraboo came in through the hallway and Oregon came in through the ice. So you see all the Oregon players as coach is going to figure out which 5 to start with here. Jack Klun heads back to the penalty box along with Beal. Beal, I forget the exact stats, but he's racked up the penalty minutes already this year. 2 so far tonight. And those aren't his first of the year. So we have Sanaya back.
Hello, hello.
And I had turned down the camera mic because the music was really loud. Do you want to turn that back up so we can get some of the, yep, that one, so we can get the sounds of the game? Thank you very much.
Yes, of course.
And the puck has dropped. One's with a backhand shot. Couillard in great position. Didn't have to move an inch for that one. And he hands it to the official. I didn't talk to any of the officials before tonight's game to see if they wanted, tonight's game is officiated by, but we certainly appreciate all the hard work that all the hockey refs do in these parts. Not an easy game to officiate. And there's a constant demand, so if you're a young hockey player out there and you want to make lots of money for doing what you do best, which is skating, I encourage you to take a class, get certified as an official. I know Dane County makes it a priority to have young officials. This might be a statewide, so this might be the might just be the DCHOA, or it might be the statewide, that make sure that young referees with less experience work with a more experienced veteran ref. And we're going to have a face-off to Nicholas Couillard's right, won by James Shervin, back to Trey Zerwick. Trey looking up ice, gets it out to Desmond Kingsley. He's battling in front of the Baraboo bench for that puck, and then Trey sneaks in there and fires it on net. Kick to the corner by Fanning. Now Baraboo controls. Can they get it out of the zone? They can't get it past big number 8, Trey Zerwick. And Oregon, ooh, is that Tim Grice out there?
Yes, it is.
Tim Grice by the blue line. He couldn't handle that pass and keep it in the zone, but Oregon has it back on their sticks. Kingsley out to Shervin. How many goals does James want to score tonight is the question. He's getting pushed around a little bit. Desmond comes in with a flying elbow on number 22, Bjorklund. And that chance for Baraboo goes up in a puff of smoke, and Oregon takes the puck right back down. Now Dawson Peterson working behind the net. This pass, Kingsley wasn't ready to handle that one, and Baraboo's going to steal it and break out the other way into the zone now. George Karasek with some good defense to force the turnover. George with the puck on his stick gets it up to Dawson Peterson. Peterson's already earned himself a playmaker patch tonight, if they still give those out. He can put it on the shoulder of his letter jacket if he wants.
I don't actually know. I know that the high school does do letter jackets. I don't know if any of the hockey guys actually ended up getting them.
Have you seen anybody at school at OHS wearing a letter jacket?
I think people do get them. I have seen a couple. I just don't think that people really wear them. I think I saw a few for the girls' basketball senior night last year. I saw a couple.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was a bigger thing back in my day. You know, back before there was color, when everything was black and white when I was in high school. And for the record, I actually went to high school at Portage, so I don't know if I know any of these kids. I don't see any familiar last names. The one, I didn't see the one hockey mom I know that I used to sit next to in chemistry class. All right, Karasek fires that puck off the boards, gets it out of the zone. Oregon's look good to start the second period. They've put the pressure on. As the puck goes up into the Oregon bench. Keaton Walker, senior goaltender, has something to say about that. I'm not exactly sure. Is he signaling to somebody in the crowd, or?
No, I'm not. I don't think so. I think number 26 was standing a little bit too close, went off sides. I think he was celebrating. I think 26 thought it was a little funny.
All right. So hopefully some friendly banter out there as DiMartino battles for the puck in the corner. He was looking sharp in his suit today. I do like that the Oregon hockey players for home games get dressed up.
Yeah, it's always fun to dress up. I know me and Ava love dressing up with the guys too. It's always something fun to do. Just makes the team look nice and put together.
And so if I can ask, I see a lot of the players. You know, I saw James Shervin, and I saw Desmond Kingsley and Keaton DiMartino today. They were all looking really good. What were you wearing today?
Today I was wearing some pinstriped black dress pants with a red like short sleeve bodysuit thing, and then a black trench coat over top. It was a little cold outside.
Very nice. No, the red and black, I like it.
Yeah, I got to get an orange one though.
Yeah, I probably have more orange in my closet than a lot of people. So I know that Desmond wore my orange tie for one of the games earlier this week. He helps himself to my tie rack, which is good because I don't wear them very often. And that is going to get sent down by Baraboo for an icing. And we're going to have a face-off with 12:40 left in the second period. Looks like it's going to be to the left of Fanning. Still in there. He's faced a fair number of shots so far, and he's made some nice saves, but the Peterson to Shervin combination has been able to get past him 3 times. Great centering pass. Tauschik's shot. He had some sticks on his stick to prevent him from getting a clean shot off. And it comes all the way down. Baraboo skater whiffs at it. I think that was Zamanovic. Wait, where's my pronunciation sheet? Zamanovic. Zamanovic is the correct pronunciation on that. And Oregon dumps it all the way down where Baraboo goes to retreat. Some pressure applied by Ethan Dish, who gets his stick on the pass, and it goes up into the net where it's stuck up there. So we're either going to have somebody with some height. It looks like Mr. Zerwick. He's got the height. He's got the wingspan. He was able to retrieve that puck from the net and get it back to the officials for the face-off. And Baraboo controls the puck after this face-off. James Shervin, though, steals the puck, gets it back to the blue line. George Karasek fires it down there. Kingsley got a stick on it. Now Dawson takes a shot. Oregon got a couple shots real close. Kingsley and Peterson in front of the net. But Fanning is up to the task. And hey, you know, we were talking about this last game about how Dawson seems to know every goaltender ever. And here he has a nice hug for Fanning, so. Dawson's a friendly guy anyway. That's why I was kind of surprised when I thought he got that roughing call earlier. Not that, you know, he'll hit somebody when the time comes and when it needs to get done. Shervin passing to himself off the boards. Now skates it down, looking for some help. Jost comes and applies the pressure. Now Dawson Peterson in the corner looks to get it out of there and set something up. Shot from the blue line by George Karasek. Easy save made for Fanning. Right in the old bread basket, like my gym teacher used to say in 4th grade.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see George pushing from the blue line. He hasn't. I feel like out of all the years that I've been managing, I don't think I've really seen George putting shots on goal like I have this year.
Yeah, and I know a couple years back when George was playing for the Wisconsin Junior Stars, he's a guy who had pretty much played defense his whole hockey career, started playing center for him, and it really improved his offensive skills, his stick handling, his passing, and ooh, nice centering pass for Yachman, nobody home, but Jack Klund rips a shot off the pipe. It was coming in too hot for Dish to get a rebound. Now we're gonna have a hooking on Zerwick probably, as he slowed down Beal's attack. That's a good penalty to take. So Trey Zerwick's gonna get 2 minutes for hooking. But yeah, I think having that opportunity to play forward like George did really helped his development. And, I think we saw it more so with Oregon last year, or even going back 2 years ago, where it was Kyle Barnish, who was a defenseman, spent a lot of time on the power play down low, playing forward on the power play. George did a lot of that last year. Wraparound, they got one in. The first wraparound shot was saved by Cooley, but the second stab at it, and Baraboo Portage is on the board. And the power play goal is going to be scored by number 12, Thomas Sarnow, a junior. So 3-1 now, 10.5 minutes left in the second period. Let's see if that changes the momentum of a game where Oregon's been in control for most of it. The puck is hit by Zamanovic into the Oregon bench. Pretty easy to toss that one back on the ice there, and some smiles and laughs all around for these players. I don't think anybody minds a shot like that coming at them. It's those screamers that make you duck. Those are the ones that give you pause. All right, junior Tim Grice goes to chase the puck down. So they did announce Sarnau with the goal and an assist to Beal. I didn't hear who the other assist was.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. I was focused on Dawson with the possession of the puck right outside of the blue line.
All right, now Baraboo gets it into the zone. Let's see if they can get another attack in on Couillard. Not with that good defense by Grice to force the shot wide. Nizer turned and wheeled. Grice was on top of him, but Baraboo has the puck in the corner. They're working it along the far side boards. Now they're going to work it behind the net a little bit. James Shervin comes flying in to pressure that puck, forces it loose, and James is going to come up with it. He's leading the charge with Dawson behind him. I think James tried to get it to Dawson, but not everybody has eyes in the back of their head. Now a good hustle play by Jack Klund to get back and get that puck and fire it off Dawson's stick into the zone. Now Drew Yachman giving chase. He's going to get it back to Dawson. Centering pass. Dish whiffed on it a little bit. Jack Klund's shot is saved and covered up by Fanning.
Great shot by Jack.
It certainly was. Jack's been, he's been locked in. He's been really aggressive offensively, sometimes skating the puck in. He's kind of like, you know, I have a basketball background more so than hockey, and he's like the mid-range jump shooter. Jack, you know, he'll go from the blue line, but he likes to get it in and get about halfway in before he just has some really well-placed shots. And he's scored, I think he's got, what, 2 goals and at least an assist already this year. He got the big late in the third period game-tying goal in the first game this year, but West Salem was able to win that one 14 seconds into overtime. Now Jack drops it off ahead to Owen Tauschik, who uses his skate to kick it in front of him and get a shot off wide. Baraboo is going to get there first.
Looks like a big hit from Dish.
Yeah, Dish came flying into the boards to get a piece of somebody. Baraboo giving it right back with a little shot on Jack Klund, but
looks like we're going to have an icing.
And icing is the call. The puck's going to come back for a face-off in front of Fanning. 7:59 left in the second period. Oregon Panthers are leading 3-1 over Baraboo Portage Thunderbirds here in this OCA Media production of Panther Hockey. Whether you're watching us live on Charter or TDS or YouTube, or maybe you're watching the replay a few days from now, I hope you're enjoying this OCA Media production of Panther Sports. Shervin, the hot pass out to Jack Klund, a little too hot to handle. Trey Zerwick giving good hustle to get back there and get the puck. And now Jack Klund bringing it across the red line and dumping it down low. Keaton DiMartino is going to give chase, but Baraboo is going to get there first, although his pressure caused a bouncing puck in front of the net. Good hustle by Keaton DiMartino. And he continues to put on the pressure on the forecheck there, and the puck bounces off Keaton and up into the net. So do you have a preference between these white sweaters versus the gray ones?
Yeah, white all the way.
Yeah.
I actually, the grays are not my favorite. Black is my favorite by far. They're so sleek, they're so clean. But then white is definitely second best. I like seeing them when we're home. I like, you know, texting the coach and asking him what I'm going to hang up in the locker room when I'm setting up.
Okay.
Like to see the white.
So you handle social media. You set up the chosen sweater of the night.
Yes.
Now you've mentioned water bottles.
Yeah.
What are some other tasks that a manager of a hockey team has?
We usually will set up Wisconsin prep hockey and put in the stats from the game. Yeah. We also just, you know, we're here for the guys. at the end of the day.
Okay.
Just to make it more fun for them. I think they really like the social media aspect. I know after their first morning practice, we bring them donuts. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, last year we did have an elf on the shelf. So we'll see if we'll bring that back this season.
Dish had a nice centering pass, nobody home. Well, I suppose it's just the start of December, so yeah, elf on the shelf time could start. George Karasek, who in the last possession had a great shot from the blue line, is out there battling for the puck.
It looks like someone from Baraboo's going in a little bit hurt. I'm not quite sure who, and it looks like we're having a little bit of a scuff on the Oregon side of the ice here.
Yeah, I think somebody got a little too close to Coolyard down there and wound up, that's Jordy Beal. He's already been in the penalty box a couple times tonight. He must have got a little too close to Coolyard, and he got put on his backside.
Yeah.
And we'll see if anyone's going to, you know, I think the refs usually allow you to hit somebody if they're close to your goalie, but it looks like George Karasek is heading over to the bench for a roughing. Roughing on Karasek at the 10:30 mark in the second period.
I feel like we see a lot of those situations when another player gets too close to the goalie. That's the most precious thing on the team. I don't think any of the guys want anybody on their goalie at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's priority one. Got to defend your netminder. So a moment ago, you were talking about loading up the scores and everything on the WisconsinPrepHockey.net website, which is a great website. I mean, you can search by conference, you can search by team. It has records of past years, stats, and schedules if you want all that information. But I did notice something, a couple things with the first game, and I talked to Ava about it earlier today, and she thought it was a coach fix, but there's a couple, like there was a penalty that it just shows a question mark instead of the player, and it was a penalty on Jack Klum.
Sure.
So how does one go about getting that fixed? Is that something that you as a manager have the ability to do?
Yeah, so me and Ava have been trying to do the stats remotely recently, and it's really not working.
Okay.
So tonight I think we're going to have to go into the locker room office and just fix everything up. All those question marks I think are put in a hurry, so it's our job to just go in there and make sure everything looks good so that parents, fans, and even the players of other teams can go in and really see true stats.
Okay. And I have a couple corrections from the first game. I haven't seen the second game box score yet, so
sure.
if you want that info, I'll get that to you offline.
Of course.
Thank you. I was wondering about that. So this is a learning experience and learning for the audience at home as well. Hopefully you're picking something up. I'm guessing most people that are tuning in are hockey fans, or at least are watching their nephews or grandsons or whoever might be out here on the ice.
Yeah.
I know we've got some Bantam hockey moms and some Pee Wee hockey moms that watch these games.
Yeah.
And I even ran into a former hockey mom at the grocery store this week. Shout out to Angie, one of the all-time great hockey moms. And so a lot of people are tuning into these broadcasts, and you know, I've got some good feedback, so that's good to hear. I'm glad that people are watching these games, sometimes live, sometimes the next day.
Dish just had a big hit right inside of the blue in the neutral zone.
Yeah, Oregon picking up the intensity. Dish with a hit, Jack with a hit, and somebody's getting an interference call.
It looks like Jack is going in the box once again for an interference. Looks like we're going into a double. We have two players in the box. That's putting Baraboo on a double power play here.
Yeah, there's going to be 26 seconds of 3-on-5 hockey. So the Oregon penalty killers are really going to have to step up.
It's always interesting to see this 3-on-5 hockey. I know a couple of games back we also had a 3-on-5 opportunity. I think we did put one in the net. So it's always scary going in when you are the team with 3-on-5.
It's got to feel good when you're able to kill it, though.
Yeah. Killing a power play is definitely, I would say the guys say, one of the best feelings, for sure. I think it's always on our game objectives is to kill a power play whenever it happens.
So out there to try and kill this 3-on-5 right now are Dish, Yachman, and Zerwick for Oregon. Dish and Yachman have been a 1-2 penalty killing punch. Last year, as first-year high schoolers, they were sophomores, but they both played Bantams their freshman year. And then they came out last year as sophomores, and they were getting a lot of big-time shifts on the penalty kill. And so that trend continues. It's nice as a coach to know that you have some trusted guys that have been out there and have killed plenty of penalties. And, of course, the master penalty killer himself is out there, James Shervin. Looking for another shorthanded goal.
And it looks like James has possession of the puck again, but getting spun out right in the neutral zone.
Tough to take James off his feet, though. Showed amazing balance on that hit and spin.
And it looks like we're back to 4-on-5. We're on a regular power play here. Looks like George is out of the box and on the ice. Looks like we've got 40 seconds left on Jack's interference power play with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period.
Thought maybe we were going to see a wraparound attempt. Instead, Baraboo gets it out to the point where Matson rips a shot. Save made. Now James with a pass. Nobody home. Taken right back into the zone by Sarnow.
And it looks like George is applying some really good defense there to get the puck taken away.
Yeah, Sarnow had a great drop off to Nizer, but like Sanaya said, good defense by Oregon to prevent a shot. Now Dawson with maybe a smart play just to dump it back to George, fire it back into the zone, and the penalty's over. Oregon able to kill off the 5-on-3 and the regular 5-on-4. I wonder how goalies feel about that, because the goalies are out there too. So
yeah.
I mean, it's a 6-on-5.
Of course, I feel like it's definitely a lot of pressure on, you know, the goalie that's within the power play. I think Cooley really holds the pressure well, though.
All right, Baraboo able to get a rush. I think some people wanted an offside call. It looks like the man was in the zone before the puck, but the officials were right on the blue line, and they said it was clean. And Cooley stepped up and made a nice save there. We're seeing a rock-solid performance out of Nicholas Couillard. Like every team dinner so far this year has been out at the Casa de Couillard.
Yeah.
Do you managers get to go to those?
We were invited to the first team dinner that they had where they do their little skits and whatnot, but unfortunately I did have my own team bonding and Ava was out of town, so we did not get to attend. But hopefully we'll be able to come to a team dinner at some point this season.
Ethan Dish looking to lay some hits on people tonight. Gets another one on a Baraboo skater in the corner. And now Oregon, Tauschik with the puck.
Looks like there's a glove missing.
Yeah, that guy got his hand in on Tauschik to interrupt his flow toward the net there. Lost a glove in the process. Good attack by the senior, number 16, Owen Tauschik.
Yeah, honestly, going back to Yachman and Dish, it's always fun seeing them on the ice. I think for as long as, you know, I've been watching them play hockey from Pee-wees to Bantams, they've always been together, line mates, and I think they play really well together.
Yeah, and I know even last year, Coach made an effort to keep them on the same line as much as possible, and Coach Hefty doing the same thing. And I did, yeah, I was speaking with Ethan earlier before the season started, and he mentioned that, you know, they've been together all the time. I think there was one year where Yachman was playing defense a lot, but.
Yeah. It looks like Preston Crum has been let onto the ice.
Well, Crum out there with DiMartino and Dish is the forward line.
Looks like he goes in for a big hit right at the red line, but kind of misses.
Now Klun with the puck. He's going to fire it up in the air, the bouncing puck. Are we going to have an icing? We are. Preston Crum giving chase to that one, but not fast enough. There is an art to getting the right kind of spin and bounce on that puck to prevent the icing, but that one had a little more of a line drive trajectory. I mean, Jack got some good height on it. It was a good 15, 20 feet up probably, but.
Yeah.
Anyways, Oregon not phased. They win the face-off and get it out of the zone. Fired immediately back in by Meeker. Down to the corner, George gives chase. And Oregon's going to come up with this one. Dawson Peterson, oh, great defensive play to reach around Dawson and bang that puck back in. Jordy Beal, hearing his name a lot. He does more than just commit penalties. He's made some nice hockey plays out there. One of the senior leaders on this team. Oh, Oregon. Oh, go ahead.
It looks like James has possession of the puck once again tonight, and it looks like he has a great lineup for the shot, but yet it is saved by the Baraboo goalie.
Knut Lee throwing ones into the board. You know, I'd like to say Wyatt. I'll just get Wyatt Arnold's name out of the way. I think I'm going to call him ones the rest of the game. So I hear that there's a number 11 is like the last jersey left for Oregon, and nobody, either nobody wants to wear it or coach doesn't want to make anybody wear it. I'm not sure what that is. What is it with the number 11?
So last season the number 11 was retired, and I think the guys really cherished the number just because the last guy to wear it was Eddie.
Edgar Nieto?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I think a lot of the guys, you know, I think the freshmen come in, the first-year sophomores, they come in and they're like, oh, I want 11. And the guys are like, yeah, you can't have that number. And even though it's not really retired this year, I think they just really cherish it and they want to keep it hung up. It's something that they, you know, keep in a, one would say, a picture frame.
So when Eddie was skating, every time he would get the puck, a roar would come up from the crowd. And I guess I never fully understood. I mean, did just everybody like the guy?
I think everybody just liked him. He was a big character in the school.
Okay.
Real nice guy. I think everybody got along with him. But I think as he played hockey throughout his high school career, he really made a name for himself on really just driving down the ice and getting the puck in the net. So when people saw that the puck was on his stick, everybody just was really hype and knew that there was a good chance that that puck was going to go into the net. So I feel like people were just getting hype right at the beginning, right at the get-go.
Okay. And so Eddie graduated 2 years ago, I believe. He was part of that group with Jacob Cameron and Simon Dosher and Cam Mueller.
Yep.
And who all else would have been 2 years ago? Charles Barnish.
Yes.
Kyle Barnish.
Yeah. They graduated my freshman year, so I didn't really get to know them all that well. But from what I knew, all nice guys. Loved playing hockey and knew how to do it.
All right. And so, back when you were a freshman, were you a team manager as well?
Yes, I was. I've been managing from freshman year all the way until junior year now, and I plan on doing it next season for my last season, and then passing it off to our JV managers that we have currently. Okay.
And then is Ava also a junior?
Yes, Ava's also a junior, and I also believe that she is going to do it through her senior year.
Okay. Now, I remember Ava for sure did it last year. I don't know about freshman year.
Yeah, it was her first year last year. I was left to be the only manager last year, so I had to find someone that would do it with me, and I think Ava was the best choice, honestly. She's my best friend, and she loves working, and I love doing it with her, and it's just really fun because we get to spend time together and do something that we both really enjoy.
Okay. Well, that's really cool that if you have that kind of to do something like that you enjoy anyways, but to do it with a friend makes it even better.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
But with the last couple minutes of this intermission here in the ZAM, I do have to go do my manager duties.
All right. And let's see, we've already given the Badger update with some of these teams, and we've talked about Baraboo Portage. I do want to give another notice about Youth Night coming up. So our next broadcast of Panther hockey will be this Friday. The Oregon Panthers host Somerset, and it is Youth Night. And we're not doing just the one single camera like we do for most games. This is going to be a multi-camera event. There's going to be some GoPro cameras set up behind the nets. I think there's going to be cameras in at least one corner, as well as our normal feed. I mean, there's going to be, I believe Josiah's going to be the director. You know, give me camera 1, give me camera 2, and all those things that happen behind the scenes. And it's going to be exciting. And if you're a youth hockey player, or even if you want to just come out and skate with the Panthers, as long as you have a helmet and skates, you can come out on the ice before the. I don't have all the details, so I think it's before the game. I would say check with the Oregon Youth Hockey page. If you can find their Sports Engine page, they should have some information. I know there's a flyer out there somewhere on social media. I'll have to ask Sanaya when she comes back if the team has put anything out, but otherwise you should be able to find that at the @OHS Hockey Instagram. I'll ask Sanaya if she can get a youth night flyer and put it out there. They're fun nights, you know. The kids come in, they wear their youth hockey jersey. I expect to see mostly Oregon and a lot of the orange and black out there, but hey, if you're a skater from somewhere else and you want to come out and if you want to come on out and heck, I think there's even going to be some posters if you want autographs. It's interesting when these players, high school players, get asked for an autograph from a younger kid. I've seen it happen, and they're just kind of like surprised, but regardless, it's youth night on Friday, and then it'll be a road game for Oregon hockey on Saturday at McFarland. OCA Media does not go to visiting rinks and broadcast. At least it's not part of the standard operation. So that one, if you want to watch, you're going to have to come out to McFarland and their ice rink, which is a good place to watch a game. I'm not a big fan of the hot dogs there. I think we have, if you want a good hot dog, come to the Oregon Snack Shacks. We have good ones there. Whoa. So I want to take this time to remind everybody that you are watching an exclusive OCA Media broadcast of Panther hockey. And this broadcast is brought to you in partnership with the Village of Oregon, a great place to live, work, and play. The Oregon School District, actively building competency, character, culture, and community. The Oregon Athletic Booster Club, doing great things for all Panther sports. Your membership dues directly support our student athletes. Consider becoming a booster today. And you don't have to be parent of an Oregon athlete. You know, we have, in addition to corporate support, we get a lot of individual family support from past Oregon, or, you know, parents of past Oregon students, or, you know, alumni. So check that out. You can just do a web search for Oregon Athletic Booster Club, and you can find out more information. Additional sponsors include One Community Bank, Feel Good Banking, the Oregon Area Community Coalition, helping youth thrive. Visit us at OregonAreaCares.org. Shackelford Heating and Cooling, Panther Exteriors, Stoughton Health, and Wisco Industries, your trusted neighbors for generations. So we're about 5 minutes out from the start of the third period. The home Oregon Panthers have a 3-1 lead over the visiting Baraboo Thunderbirds. All 3 goals for Oregon scored by James Shervin, and all 3 of those were assisted by Dawson Peterson. The first was a shorthanded goal. And Sarnow was able to get one back for Baraboo. That's junior forward Thomas Sarnow with an assist to Jordy Beal. And I'll try and get you the second assist on that one, as well as shots on goal, when we come back for the third period. So stay tuned. Hello, wonderful people. We are here at the Oregon Ice Arena here on the evening of December 3rd, 2024 for tonight's WIAA hockey matchup between the visiting Baraboo Thunderbirds and the home Oregon Panthers. Defenseman Trey Zerwick has just fired up the team with one of his rousing pre-period speeches. And the 5 Panthers have taken the ice along with the 5 Thunderbirds. Sorry goalies. The 6, of course, 5 skaters each side and 1 goalie each side. And the puck is dropped on the 3rd period. Oregon up 3-1. And the 1 goal for Baraboo, it was scored by Sarnow and assisted by Beal. But the second assist, which I didn't announce earlier, was by Wyatt Arnold, affectionately known as Ones. And the saves so far through the game, Nicholas Couillard for Oregon has 13 through the first 2 periods. And Josiah Fanning for Baraboo has 31. Now Oregon has decided to ice the puck. And so they're going to go down for a face-off in front and to the right of Nicholas Couillard. No. We're bringing it back out to center ice, so maybe we have an inadvertent whistle. And we're going to drop this puck here. Ethan Dish wins the face-off over Nizer. Back to the Oregon defense. Clun up to Tauschik. Tauschik's pass. Baraboo got a stick on it, but recovered by Oregon into the attacking zone. But Baraboo immediately takes it away, gets it out of the zone. George Karasek collects, bangs it off the boards. To neutral, out to the neutral zone. Now into the attacking zone for Oregon. Drew Yachman putting on the pressure. Wyatt Jost is able to get that puck all the way around the boards and up to the neutral zone. Or Oregon promptly gets it back in, and they're going to go for a change. 5 fresh skaters coming out, including Peterson, Shervin, and Kingsley at forwards, and Dawson Peterson tied up. A little pushing and shoving with number 9, Dane Wagner. Now James Shervin after the puck, out to Jack Clun. They're going to trade places. Shervin heads back to the blue line, and he's able to do good defensive work. Good forecheck on Nizer to get that puck back. Now Kingsley trying to get that puck away from Baraboo, but they're going to be able to get it out of the zone. The pass to nobody. One's Arnold. He's going to have to skate it down himself, but Oregon a little too fast. It's a good shift for Arnold, but he's trying to do a lot. He's trying to do the work of 3 men out there. Dawson Peterson now with the puck behind the zone, trying to get a centering pass, but met by the defense. The puck's going to come out briefly. Yep, the ref saw it. He's signaled offside. Oregon clears, and now they're back in the zone on the attack, but it comes out to center ice. Now Baraboo 2-on-1. Then the shot goes in the back of the net, and we suddenly have a 1-goal game. Baraboo celebrates. Very pleasant team celebration. No heading over to the student section or making obscene gestures. Speaking of the student section, where the heck is everybody?
I'm not sure. I think a lot of people left. I know that we were holding a pretty good lead, and I know that some people don't really know how hockey works and how quick that it can change. I think people just tend to leave after the second.
Okay. Well, maybe everybody's got a lot of homework to do. You know, school comes first. So it's 3-2 now. Good 2-on-1. You know, not much Cooley could do. He had to kind of pick a guy. And let's see if Baraboo can turn that goal into some momentum their way. Oregon's really felt like they were really in control of this game early. They're definitely leading the shots there. So that was Thomas Sarnow again from Wyatt Arnold again. So 2 goals for Sarnow, 2 assists for Arnold so far in the night. Do they have a third in them like Peterson and Shervin? We shall see. For now, Oregon back on their heels a little bit, just fires that puck out of the zone. Gathered by Baraboo as they skated all the way back into their defensive zone to get it, but Jack Klun passed to nobody. Tauschik couldn't handle that as he was by his bench. Didn't want to get a too many men penalty. Peterson whips a wild shot from the near side boards. Kept in by Klun. Now Dawson behind the net, trying to get it to Keaton DiMartino. They were kind of in each other's space a little bit as both teams continue to battle for this puck. Dawson Peterson giving chase. Colin Matson for Baraboo in on that one. Now Peterson gets it over to Shervin momentarily. Back to Dawson Peterson. Out high to Trey Zerwick, who's going to rip a slap shot. Save made by Fanning. That came in there pretty hot. Trey put a good one right on target.
This is kind of funny. John McKenzie did just text me and let me know that 11s was not actually worn by Eddie. The last person to wear it was actually Kyle Rohr, I guess.
Oh.
I guess Eddie wore 16s, but I could have sworn that he wore 11s, and
Okay.
I guess I was just messing it up. But I guess it has been retired since he graduated.
Okay. So Eddie was 16, Kyle Rohr was 11.
Yes.
All right, and I'm sure maybe Johnny could tell us where Rohr's playing these days. I think he was playing some big-time juniors out east, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to text John and ask him at some point.
We've seen John around the rink a couple times.
Yeah,
he
was just back for Thanksgiving break. He did come to a few games. It was nice to catch up with McKenzie. Love talking to him. Great guy.
One of the, let's see, 2024 graduates.
Yeah, he did graduate last year.
Seen a lot of those guys around the rink, especially around Thanksgiving time. I saw Brock Buskagger and Logan Leatherberry and Nathan McAlpine. And Dish loses the puck as he skates it into across the blue line there. Wild shot from 14, but Nizer did what was able to give his team a chance to do a line change there. Sometimes that's all you want with those wild, crazy shots from distance. Good job by Drew Yachman. Stealing the puck, getting it down into the corner. It's going to come out high for Timmy Grice. But taken away by Baraboo. Now they're looking to have a nice controlled breakout. Give them a chance to tie this game. George Karasek back on defense.
Playing some great defense, but it looks like he's getting taken down by Baraboo.
Yeah, that was Jordy Beal. He's not afraid to get physical. But a centering pass, nobody was home for Baraboo. Shervin with the steal, perfectly timed before it went out of the zone. James with a little backhand shot that's saved. And then James takes a big hit into the boards. Oh, Dawson's pass to Shervin just out a little bit high. Jack Klun's gonna fire it back into the zone. Desmond Kingsley giving chase, but Baraboo gets there first. James Shervin comes up, drops a hit on Zamanovic. James is pretty fired up right now. He's skating hard and not afraid to put a body on somebody. Skates around 3 people. James going into hero mode. He's gonna draw a penalty on Baraboo. I do believe it's a slashing call. And now there's some talking after the whistle. James a little... I do love it when James gets a little upset and goes Incredible Hulk hero mode and he's just flying around the ice. He skated through about 3 people on that attack until somebody slashed him. And that the offender went to the bench and the refs are getting a little upset. They're signaling.
They're signaling this slash here, and they're taking their sweet old time getting out of the box, it looks like.
And so Colin Matson's going to head over there. Senior defenseman, number 13. He's a little upset. I don't know if he didn't think he committed the slash, but rather than going to the box, he was sitting down on the bench. The refs had to come over and you know, I can say as an official, if somebody makes a clear violation and you see it, and then they argue with you about it or refuse to leave the field or whatever it might be, that's you're not making any friends with the officials when you're with conduct like that. The intensity is picked up here in this third period. A one-goal game has something to do with it, but the hits continue. Desmond Kingsley with a shot that goes wide. I think Fanning got a piece of that to deflect it. Oregon still setting up the power play in front, but Baraboo is able to get that puck, and Kaiser sends it all the way down. 10 minutes left in the period. Oregon clinging to a one-goal lead. They still have 1 minute 20 seconds on the power play. Zerwick's pass is going to get picked up by Preston Crom. Back to Zerwick. And he's going to dump it down into the corner where Dawson Peterson gives chase. He's going to get there first. Now he gets it back out high to Trey Zerwick. Trey's a right-hander over there on the left side, so he had to go to his backhand a little bit and dig it out. Peterson goes down, and there's going to be another call. Dawson looks like he's hurting. Dawson Peterson, a junior forward, number 10 for Oregon, still down on the ice behind the net.
I think we're going to have a checking from behind, and Dawson is back up.
Now we're going to have more than just a, I believe I saw a signal for an unsportsmanlike conduct as well.
And it looks like Owen is headed into the box as well. I'm not quite sure what for.
Well, you know, maybe he just wanted to say hi to his dad.
Yeah, possibly.
We have 4 wonderful Oregon hockey dads in there right now doing the score sheet clock and the penalty boxes. And another one up there doing the announcing and DJing.
And it looks like we're having a 5-on-4.
So those 2 penalties are going to be matched up. And Shervin and Klun are out on the blue line for Oregon right now. Dawson Peterson. Oh, yep. We were talking about this earlier. George Karasek in front of the net, playing a little center on the power play with Dish and Peterson on the front line. You know, another thing you'll often see on a power play is a forward playing defense, which we've seen all night out of Oregon's power play with James Shervin back there. Kept in by Klun momentarily.
And it looks like he's going to miss it, but I think James is going to keep up with the puck and turn it back around.
Yeah, you can't coach speed. And James Shervin certainly had it. Saved the day and prevented a breakaway for Baraboo. Shervin's shot goes off the legs of a defender. Oregon in front of the net. Ethan Dish turns and fires. Now George Karasek tried to get the rebound. Covered up by Fanning, and Fanning giving an attaboy to his teammate in the bubble, number 26, Bobby Meeker. I'm not sure what the height difference is there. I need to talk to George and get the exact tail of the tape. We've been calling him 6'6" this year.
Yes, he is 6'6". I have heard it from him himself, so I really don't know how tall he is on skates, so I'm taking a good 6'8" probably.
Well, I think the skates add more than 2 inches, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But either way, a significant size advantage, Karasek over Meeker, but good effort by Meeker to get physical. You know, if you're shorthanded and you're in front of the net, you don't want somebody to camp out right in front of your goalie and create those opportunities for rebounds or for screening the goaltender. And Oregon ices the puck as a pass goes up the boards all the way past the goal line. Some good pursuit by Yachman and DiMartino, but you can't skate as fast as a puck can get past or shot. And that's true in basketball, as folks may have witnessed the other night in that Oregon-Stoughton game. Cooley with a pad save. A good hard slapper from Jordy Beal. Now Yachman with it doing the same thing, and a save made. A good pad save and covered up by Fanning.
It was a great rebound by DiMartino. He was just a little bit short of getting it in the net, unfortunately.
Yeah, that shot, that puck exploded off a Yachman stick. I think that's the best looking shot I've seen him take early in this season. 3 games in, DiMartino gets a nice shot off too. Good quick wrister from the lefty. Still trying to get used to the new numbers. DiMartino wearing a new number this year. If you tuned in years past, he was wearing number 22 last year. They're wearing 12 this year.
He dropped the 2.
Preston Crom wearing the number 3, which I guess we didn't retire after John McKenzie.
Yeah, no. I think John said that he was fine with Preston wearing his jersey, though, because he is said to be the best underclassman coming in this year.
Okay. And Preston getting a lot of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Preston is a sophomore, or is he a freshman?
He is a freshman.
He is a freshman. Okay, thank you. Now I have to do my math, so he must be a 2009 freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe his Bantam eligibility was up.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the there's a lot of 2009 sophomores on the squad. Jack Clunn on the bench trying to fire his team up. And so we still have Tauschik in the box, looking to come out when I think probably after the next whistle. I think his 2 minutes on the matching minors should be about up. Oh, Karasek fires it from center ice, and the save, I'm calling that one a save made by Fanning. I mean, he got his blocker up there. Now the puck bouncing loose. James Shervin trying to get a stick on that.
And it looks like Nutt is going to try to take a shot, but misses.
That was Canute Lee, is sometimes referred to as Nut by his teammates and managers. And random people as well. I think people like that nickname. Dawson's shot just wide of Fanning. He goes into the corner to dig it out. Kingsley battling for that puck with Bjorklund. Now Kingsley, backhander, sends it around, but Baraboo's going to get there first. Now James Shervin going. He sneaks in under Jost. Kingsley comes across and keeps the puck in the zone momentarily with a physical play on Kaiser. Big hit made by Shervin, takes a man down. And let's see if he looks for revenge. No, Bjorklund tried to get that puck, but Dawson just danced right around him. Well, Jack Clunn's going to have a chance here. He skates it in, met by the defense. Good pressure by Bobby Meeker there to prevent Jack from getting that shot off. And Baraboo's just going to send it all the way down for an icing. So we're going to have a whistle with 5:43 left in the period. Great work on the camera and running the clock, Ben. We appreciate all the hard work. Coach Hefty had a comment for the official there. I couldn't quite hear what that was. Cole is not a screamer, so it's got to take the headphones off and really listen, which I didn't in that time. Now when Jack Clunn and Trey Zerwick are talking on the bench, I can hear some of that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they work really good as a team. I think today they both had just a hard game, and I think they're really trying to work past it for their team.
Yeah, it is a team sport. You know, sometimes you have to pick up your teammates, and sometimes, sometimes you trip somebody from behind. Owen Tauschik's going to spend 2 more minutes in the box shortly after he gets out. I guess he wasn't done talking to his dad. He's heading right back over there. So Oregon clinging to the 1-goal lead in another close game. I think this is, we've talked about it in some of these earlier broadcasts. This is the type of season it's going to be. A lot of close games. Going to have to grind out some goals. Going to have to kill some penalties. Now that shot from Arnold right into the glove of Couillard. A whopping 3 seconds gone on the power play. Baraboo is going to change up their power play lines. And it works as they win the faceoff and get a shot off. Blocked by Couilliard's shoulder into the corner. Oregon's going to send it all the way down. Of course, when you're shorthanded, there's no icing. You can send that puck all the way down. Yachman making a good decision there, I think, to play the man rather than the puck. But two other Baraboo players were right there to scoop it up and bring it back on the attack. And now Baraboo's got it in the attacking zone, but good penalty killing by Yachman. Gets the puck out and forces Arnold to lose his stick. I'm sorry, that's not Arnold, that's Zemanovic.
And it looks like Dish is going to send it all the way back in.
So some good work so far by the penalty kill. There's still 1:15 left to kill on this one for Oregon. And here comes Dish in pursuit. He's getting physical in the battle of the number 9s. James pokes it loose. He's gonna, oh, I thought he was gonna have a shot at a shorty there, but James camping out in front of the net, trying to get that puck away from the defense. Good pressure. They had to send their whole team back just about to prevent James from getting that shot off. James playing possum now with a crafty little move and forces the turnover. Good job by Arnold to keep it in. He was in the right place at the right time. Neiser's had a pretty effective game there. He's out here on the power play, but he's going to skate to the bench, the team captain. And Klun is going to send it all the way down. Give Oregon a chance to get some fresh bodies on the ice as Dawson Peterson and Desmond Kingsley are out on the penalty kill unit, along with Klun and Zerwick. Baraboo's just going to dump it in. Arnold's going to give chase. Jack Klun giving chase. Who's going to get there first? It's Jack Klun, and he sends the puck all the way down. We'll call that a shot on goal, because it was right on target. Easy save, of course, for for Fanning. He just punched the puck out of there.
It looks like we are at full strength once again.
Tauschik heads to the bench, and Ethan Dish comes in for him. We have Yachman, Dish, and Kingsley out there now for Oregon. Shot goes wide. And who's going to get there first? Jack Klun once again. Good, strong play by Klun to survive the hit and go down and eventually draw a penalty as Baraboo trips him. So one guy tried to hit Jack against the boards, and Jack just brushed him off like a fly. And then a great attack by Klun forces the team captain for Baraboo to commit the tripping penalty. And that is Jordy Beal. How many penalties can somebody get before they're ejected from a game? I know in youth you get 3 and then they give you the warning, and if you get the 4th, you're done.
That's the same for high school. So anybody who's rocking 3 right now, I think we got Jack Klun that has been in the box 3 times. So if he does go in for a 4th time, he will be ejected from the game. Let's hope that he can stay out for the next 2 minutes and 50 seconds left of this game.
Yep, so 3 penalties for Klun and for Oregon, and 3 for Beal for Baraboo.
It looks like Ethan did almost just backhand the puck into the net, but it was blocked by the glove.
Yeah, great backhander from Dish there. And Dish is going to have another chance. Oh, no, I thought Tauschik was going to do the handoff to Dish. Instead, he comes across ice to Shervin, who brings it into the zone. Throws on the brakes, backs up. He's going to get it down to Dawson just outside the circle. Dawson Peterson looking to create. He's got Tauschik camped in front of the net. And Dish open on the backside. Now Dawson brings it around. Bodies flying, and guys diving on the ice for Baraboo to prevent the shot. Good job by Karasek to keep it in the zone. Up to Shervin. That one, Owen Tauschik has some good hops on that one, but not enough to volleyball that thing down. James Shervin's going to collect with just under 2 minutes in this game. Oregon up 3-2. We're getting close to pull the goalie time. All right, Ethan Dish, the lefty, with a nice quick wrister from distance. Save made by Fanning, and he's going to cover up in a stoppage at 1:38 left in the 3rd period. Oregon's going to get a chance maybe to get some fresh bodies, but it looks like they're leaving all the same dudes out there. Well, I suppose it's the power play unit, so that's why you see James Shervin back on the blue line. Now Dish gets the puck to Shervin. Ooh,
and it looks like James lost the puck.
Neiser's got a rush. James with some great speed reaches a stick around from behind, and then James throws a man down. Great centering pass to 13, but the defense was there. Great defense by Jack Klun. as usual. And that pass is going to go a little bit wide, and Baraboo is going to be able to kill some more time. We'll send it all the way down.
It looks like we just had a whistle at 14 seconds left in that Baraboo penalty.
And they're bringing it all the way back in front of Fanning. So, I mean, Baraboo was shorthanded, so clearly that wasn't an icing. I think, was it an inadvertent whistle? Because they're bringing it back out to center ice. So
yeah.
I think the official forgot it was a shorthanded situation for Baraboo and whistled them for icing. So we're going to do the face-off at center ice with just over a minute, 1:06 left in the game. DiMartino, Yachman, and Kingsley out there, along with Zerwick and Klun for Oregon. Looking to close this one out. Zerwick passes it to Klun in the corner. Klun passes it off the boards to himself. Tries to get it up to DiMartino. Oh, somehow that wasn't an offside. I thought Kitty got into the zone before the puck, but the ref was right on it on the blue line there, the linesman. Kingsley gets a shot off, save made. Now Baraboo bangs it behind the net. They're unable to get their goalie out of there. I'm sure they would want to by now, but Oregon with the puck in the zone. Let's see if Baraboo can maintain possession, if they'll try and pull their goalie. Kingsley tries to get it down there, unable to, and now he's going to come off the ice. Kid needs to work on his stamina a little bit. Trey Zerwick getting physical, and we got a little punch thrown by Sarnow right up in Zerwick's face. Trey's asking the official about it. They're not going to call that, I guess. I think good job by Trey just to make sure the official was aware and get some clarification on that. Yeah. Now the coaching staff giving some advice. As, Austin Lynch is talking to the defenseman there.
Looks like we got 7 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, Oregon did a great job these last couple minutes to keep the puck down and prevent Fanning from coming out. So now the team, this game is over. The team heads down to congratulate their goalie, Nicholas Couillard. They played some good D in front of them. It looked like Oregon might run away with this one with those 3 first period goals, but well, that was all they could muster today, but they did a really good job of keeping the pressure on for all 3 periods.
Yeah.
Baraboo, they did a great job fighting back to make this a 1-goal game and really have some good chances. They were able to keep that pressure on, and they had their opportunities. But they're going to head to 0-4 on the year, while Oregon moves up to 2-1. So, hey, folks, don't forget to tune in Friday night, where there will be another OCA Media production of Oregon Panther hockey. And it's, as I said earlier, it's going to be a special production. It's a multi-camera event rather than our single camera. It's youth night. There's going to be a lot of kids out there. Some of them are even going to get autographs of these players or get to skate out and get, you know, it's a thrill for the little kids, right, to get out there and be on the ice with the varsity. Has CJ ever do anything like that?
Yeah, he's done the youth night since he's played hockey. He really likes it. It's always fun for him to go out and just be with the guys. I know some of these guys I grew up with and I would consider close friends, and CJ likes all of them. So I think it's really fun for him to go out. I know Trey's his personal favorite. So I think this year he's going to try to get a spot next to Trey Zerwick.
All right. So yeah, folks, if you've got a young skater, grab their helmet, grab their skates, bring them out to the Oregon Ice Arena on Friday night when the Panthers host Somerset. They'll be they did play Somerset last year, and I believe that was a Jakey overtime winner at Somerset.
Yes, it was. Somerset was definitely a tough game for them last year. I know it had me and Ava on our toes. I think me and Ava both ended up throwing something in the top when we saw that goal go in, and I think we were both just super hyped for the team, so I'm really excited to see how the game goes when we come back, but I think it's going to be a hard game for the guys, but hopefully they can, you know, have the good D for the game.
All right. So thank you for all your hard work tonight. Ben on the camera, Sanaya on the mic. And just want to give one more shout out to the sponsors that help make this OCA Media broadcast of Panther hockey happen. So thank you again to the Village of Oregon, the Oregon School District, the Oregon Athletic Booster Club, One Community Bank, the Oregon Area Community Coalition, Shackelford Heating and Cooling, Panther Exteriors, Stoughton Health, and Wisco Industries. So I hope you enjoyed this OCA Media production of Panther Hockey. And signing off, I am Matt Kingsley.
And I am Sanaya Jackson.
All right, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the game. And we will see you on Friday.